How much can you realistically sell your apartment in Berlin for? Your neighbour listed a similar apartment for 500,000 euros. Great news. So yours is worth 500,000 too? Maybe. Or maybe it's 100,000 less. And the most interesting part, the reason might not be about your apartment at all. Let me explain. And watch until the end. There will be a common mistake that sellers make, which can actually cost you tens of thousands of euros. But first, if you're interested in real estate in Berlin without fairy tales and advertising nonsense, subscribe to the channel and like. And in the comments, write, how much do you think your apartment is worth today? Later, you can check with me how close you are to reality. So, the neighbour listed his apartment for 500,000. The first question, when? Yesterday? A year ago? 5 years ago? Because the real estate market, unfortunately, is not obliged to remain faithful to your neighbour's prices. The second question is even more interesting. Did he sell it for 500,000 or just list it? Because you can list it for 1 million. The internet is patient. Real estate actually has 3 prices: the seller's dream price, the listing price, and the price that the buyer actually paid. And only the last one is called the market. Yes, you can look at the average price per square meter, but an apartment is not potatoes. It's not sold by weight. Floor, elevator, balcony, condition, layout, light, view from the window, utilities, condition of the building, repairs, everything affects the price. And especially important, is your apartment vacant or rented out? Now, here's the promised mistake. The seller says, let's list it a bit higher. We can always lower it later. Of course we can. We might even lower it more than we should have if we had listened to an experienced realtor. First, 500,000 euros, then 480, then 460, and then a call to the agent. Why isn't anyone buying my apartment? Because the first weeks are the most important. That's when the apartment is seen by the maximum number of potential buyers. If the price is inflated, good buyers pass by, and after a few months, the apartment raises another question. What's wrong with it if no one has bought it yet? So the real question is not, how much is my neighbour selling for? And not, how much do I want to get? But how much is a buyer willing to pay for my apartment today? That is the market price. Everything else is real estate in the genre of fantasy.